Probably the thing that I love about sport the most is the sense of belonging you have, and that I guess applies to football and being part of a team sport. But I think I've been in sport for all my life because I just love the challenges that come with sport, the physicality of sport, and I guess the reason why I love football so much is because you pretty much form a bond with your teammates, and it's like an extended family. So I love that about sport. Growing up, I had a few sporting role models. I guess with football, because there weren't any female footballers at the time, like I looked towards the male AFL players. I grew up supporting St Kilda, so I love Nick Riewoldt, Aaron Hamill, Nathan Burke, just all those players. But in particular, in terms of female sporting role models, I loved Serena Williams, and I think just the way, the fact that she was so dominant, or she is so dominant in her sport, but I think I loved how powerful she is, and the way she carried herself. I think she's such a good role model for women and for girls, because of the way she holds herself, and she doesn't fit the mold in terms of what some people might think a female athlete should look like. And she's copped a lot of criticism around her body, and she's had to overcome racism and everything like that. But I think the way she carries herself and the fact that she just doesn't care about what people think is really powerful. And yeah, I love the way she goes about her business. I think, I guess a lot of girls drop out of sport between 13 and 19 just due to the pressure around what society might think they should be doing, or sometimes it can be really intimidating if you're in a sporting club with boys as well. Sometimes there are factors that might influence girls to stop playing, whether it's perhaps the boys have more support, or maybe there's not that infrastructure there for the women's teams or the girls' teams. And they're all things that influence girls. And I guess the fact that, women's sport isn't as well isn't covered in the media as well as men's sport is a big thing as well. Just having that visibility around women's sport would encourage girls and young teens to continue playing, because they can see the role models in front of them, they can see them being celebrated, and they understand that that can be something that they, I guess, aspire to be. But yeah, other things, body image issues is obviously a huge thing, and I think sometimes girls can feel that pressure to just sort of back away from something if they're not really sure, or if they feel they're not supported in that area. So hopefully now that women's sport is sort of taking off and does seem to be getting a lot more publicity and support funding wise, hopefully that encourages more girls to stay in sport, and I guess there's a bigger incentive for them to stay in sport because they can see that there's a career path for them if they want to do something like that. I think AFLW has been huge this year in, I guess, promoting women in sport and celebrating what women can achieve in sport, especially in Australia. AFL is so dominant across, I guess, media. It's Australia's game, Australia's Indigenous game. So for women to now have the opportunities that men have had is unbelievable, and it will make a huge difference for young girls and boys growing up. Both of them being able to see that there's a pathway if they choose to take it. For so long, girls have loved footy, adored footy just as much as their brothers and their male cousins, but they just haven't had that pathway, and they've never been able to see where they could end up in the sport. So to have that vision and to have the pathways being built and the support at a grassroots level as well will really make a difference for these young girls, and who knows where the game will be in 5, 10, 15 years. But it all started this year with the introduction of AFLW, and I'm really excited to see where it goes.